What's up guys, welcome back to the video with me, Super7, and today my friends, we're going to be completing the cursed lands of Lavernock and the Easter egg and the mission objectives in this video. Inside this video we will also be completing the super Easter egg so that you can get yourself the plate for the God Killer. If it turns out you already know what you're doing with the mission objectives, then that's absolutely fine. I will leave a link down in the description to where we start the super hidden Easter egg. The first objective is to get to Lavernock Point. Once you reach Lavernock Point, you must now locate and destroy 4 power generators located in the area. There is a power station located in the cabin as you go from spawn to Lavernock Point. There is a power station located on the 2nd floor of the log cabin. Another power station could be located just opposite the electrified fence. The 4th and final one could be located opposite Lucky the dog. Once you've completed this, you'll get an audio quote and a mission objective update. Now you must head down to the main chamber. You will now get another audio quote and you must now locate 4 different cylinders. These 4 cylinders can be collected in any order. However, this is the order I'd suggest. I like to start with the one that gives you the wonder weapon, as this then means that you're equipped and you're able to fight. So to start the quest for the Medusa cylinder and to gain access to the wonder weapon, head over to the cornfield where the electrified fence was. You will see a strange box and you will be able to interact with it. Now your task is to kill 5 Banshee. Once you have killed the required Banshee, you can now return to the box. Upon returning to the box, you will now be able to acquire the wonder weapon, the Thunderbolt. Now you need to use this wonder weapon to shock 4 scarecrows. These scarecrows can be shocked in any order. They can be hard to locate, but they do have a blue indicator showing that you can shoot them with the Thunderbolt. Each time you shoot a scarecrow, it will come back to life and you will see lightning connect to the middle. Once you have shot all 4, now head to the laboratory. You now need to use your wonder weapon in order to damage 4 energy cages. Once you've opened fire and destroyed these, a circle will appear in the control panel. To progress, you must now stand inside of this circle. Once the progress is 100%, you will see a lit trick come down into the room and you'll be able to go and pick up the Medusa cylinder. Now head down to the morgue as we're going to go for the hero cylinder. You must hold your ground near the furnace. As you do, the furnace will start to open. Once the furnace is fully open, you now need to get a big fire zombie to throw flames at you, but as he does, you need to dodge it and make sure that it hits the furnace. You need this guy to do it about 4 or 5 times. I don't know if it's supposed to be like this, but when you use a fire Molotov cocktail, it does put this percentage up. Once you've collected enough fire, you will now need to go on to getting zombie entrails. You can get zombie entrails by killing them. When I did this step, I felt as if I got more entrails when I was getting headshots. It's good to note that you do have to collect these by walking over them when they are dropped. Once you have collected 10 entrails, you now need to add these as fuel to the fire. Upon successfully adding 10 to the fire, the gates behind you will now open. You can now go inside of this room you couldn't access before and collect the hero cylinder. Now it's time to collect our 3rd cylinder. We are now going to start the quest for the siren cylinder. To begin this quest line, you must now head over to William's family office. Now interact with the desk. To continue this quest, we are going to need to acquire the old lantern. To do this, we must go to the graveyard area and interact with a coffin. Once we interact with this coffin, a zombie will pop out and this zombie will be holding the old lantern. We can now take this lantern from the zombie. Now we want to head back to William's office and the library. It's good to note that this lantern does become your 3rd item, so if you want to stow it, you can, and if you just keep cycling through your weapons, it will be taken back out if you need to. We're going to use this lantern to reveal different symbols on different paintings and also numbers that are assigned to these paintings. The location of these paintings doesn't change, however the code combination does change each game. Luckily these paintings aren't too hard to find. This is because they're quite close. For this part of the video, I'm just going to show you me going from painting to painting. The way this step works is that there is a bookcase which has something similar to a slot machine, and each section has a number 1, 2, 3 and 4, and in each of these there is a symbol. When you look at the painting with the lantern, it will glow pink. You will see a symbol and you'll also see a number in Roman numerals. So in my game, for example, I found a painting with the dragon symbol. It had the Roman numerals for number 3. This meant I had to go back to the slot machine and I had to change the 3rd symbol to be a dragon. I revealed another painting which showed that I had another dragon symbol and it had the Roman numeral of 1, which meant that my number 1 slot had to also be a dragon. One of my paintings revealed that number 2 had to be the Medusa head. So I changed switch the slot accordingly to be Medusa. Technically, once you've got 3 of these symbols, the one that you didn't find, you can just cycle through and it will auto-complete. But if you want to, you can find the 4th and final painting and then find out what that symbol is supposed to be. So the simplest way to explain this step is you get your lantern out, you look at a painting, the painting will have Roman numeral numbers, that number will then be assigned with a slot back at the bookcase, and you need to put the symbol that you saw in that slot. Once you successfully do this step, the bookcase will reveal itself and you will be able to get to a secret passage where you can now pick up the siren cylinder. It's time for our 4th and final cylinder, the Cerberus cylinder. To activate this, you must go to the woodlands and interact with a cage that has a goat in it. Upon doing this, you must now find 4 different statues in the woodlands area that are alternating between this orange glow, and while this orange glow is happening, you must shoot the statue in order to do damage to it. Once the statues have been broken, there will be no glowing statues at all, and you will be on to the next step. Now what you need to do is line the statues up with different symbols that are on the lamb's cage. So what I do is I look at a symbol on the cage and I memorize it, and I turn myself around and I run straight forward, and I will find the statue that is connected to that side of the cage. The statue that is directly in front of it will be the statue that is connected to that side. So for example, in my game, I look at the cage, I see that it's a Spartan, I turn around and I begin to run towards the statue. Once I reach the statue, I have a look at all of the 4 symbols that are on it and I find the Spartan symbol. Once I do that, I have to get the statue where its head would be looking at me, facing that symbol. Once it is successfully facing this symbol, I will then go back to the cage and I will see that this symbol has now lit up. That means that we have done that step correctly. And now we need to do this for the other 3 statues. And I go to the side of the cage that isn't lit up, I look at my symbol, I memorize it, I run over to the statue, I know that it's going to be a bird or it's going to be something that I've memorized, and then I will switch that statue to be on the correct symbol. Then I will go back to the cage and I will see that that symbol is now lit up. And I will do that again 2 more times until I've done that for all 4 sides. Once this is done, you will be able to release the lamb, and you will have to escort this lamb up to the spawn room. Once you reach the spawn room, the lamb will go into a statue and you'll get an audio quote. A circle will appear and you must get kills whilst in this circle. I noticed this takes 2 to 3 rounds to complete. The reason it's so late in this tutorial is because I felt it would be better when you have the elixir of life and once you had an upgraded weapon. Once you have collected enough zombie kills, you can now go to the statue and pick up the Cerberus cylinder. Now head back to the main chamber and there will be a central piece where you can now insert all of the different cylinders we have collected. Once you have inputted all of the cylinders we have collected, you will get a quote about how you need to get more power. You now need to go into the room opposite the morgue. You will see a circle where you must hold your ground and then move as it moves. At times this circle will stand still, and when it does you will need to get more zombie kills. Once you get enough zombie kills and you successfully move this machine, you can move on to the next step. Now head back to the main chamber. Once inside this room you will see a circle. Stand in that circle, hold a zombie until the gates to the vault open. Now enter the vault and you'll see a machine with loads of electricity. There are 4 coils that you're going to need to shoot. These coils randomly hide themselves and re-expose themselves, and you must make sure you destroy them. Once you successfully destroy all 4 coils, you are now ready for the boss fight. I highly suggest that you have the elixir of health and you also have a decent weapon that is at least tier 1 or tier 2 pack-a-punch. Also make sure you have your revive tokens so that you can revive your teammates or at least revive yourself. It is good to note that if you're doing this solo, if you die and you come back with a revive token, then Abraham will restore his health. A really good weapon to use against this boss, if you can get it from Lucky the Dog, is the Howler. The hotel's wonder weapon is by far the most powerful out of all of them. Once you've defeated Abraham, you will be able to leave the level. You can either do this or stay and do the super secret hidden Easter egg in order to get the plate, which will allow you to eventually get the God Killer. So continue to watch if you want to know how to get the plate for this map and how to enter the second boss fight. The first step of the secret Easter egg is to interact with the God Killer. Once you do this, a strange figure will spawn next to the machine. Shoot this figure and it will start a hide and seek quest. Around the map you must find this guy hidden in windows, hidden in the forest and hidden in other places. I will try my best to put as many locations as I can on screen for you. There are 6 possible locations for this guy, but you only have to shoot him 3 times. He does have to be shot 1 at a time, which means if you have checked an area and he's not there, he could be there after you find him. Alongside showing you the different locations, I will also update my description to have the possible locations too. A possible location for the stranger is behind the weapon upgrade machine. He can also be found in the farmlands, in the forest, in the lab behind the ammo refill station, inside of a window in Lavernock Point, in the window of a house in the chapel grounds, in the old chapel on the left above the pod. Once you have successfully shot the stranger 3 times, you will hear a completion sound, and you must now go to the library and interact with this statue head, which is now turned pink. Be careful as it will spawn in zombies. Now go to the chapel's catacombs and you will see 4 different statues. Each statue will have a symbol and a number on it. This step is similar to the puzzle that we used for the library when we obtained the siren cylinder. But unlike paintings, we now need to scour the map and look for dead rats. That's right, we need to look for dead rats and a symbol that is next to them. They're not hard to find, they can be literally anywhere, so I'm not going to be able to give you too much information on where to find them, but I can show you some examples of where I did find them in my game. So to do this step, we have to count the amount of rats that we have, and then we need to assign that to one of the statues. So if we see 3 dead rats, that means that the 3rd statue needs to be turned to the symbol that the 3 dead rats is next to. So for example, in this gameplay, I have 1 rat and I have a cat symbol. So that means I now need to go to the statues and I need to turn the statue that has the 1 Roman numeral to a cat symbol. I now need to locate another 2 set of rats, and then I can go back to the statue and input the correct symbols that I see with those rats. Whichever statue I didn't find the equal for rats to symbol for, I can just cycle through the symbols until it completes that step. You'll know when this step is complete because you will get a completion sound. For the next step, we need to go around the map and find different generators. The location of these generators is the chapel catacombs, the facility entrance, the hatch service entrance, the Lavernock Point on the top floor of the house with the balcony where the original power station was, and also in the laboratory opposite the control panel. This step is timed and you do have to be really quick on your feet with it. So if you're playing solo, or even if you're playing co-op and your friends don't know what they're doing, I would recommend getting Stallion Juice, as this will help increase your running speed. Don't worry about failing it, you won't. You just need to make sure that you run around and shoot them as quick as you can. Also make sure to shoot the correct part of the machine. It has to be the cylinder looking piece. Once you complete this step, you now need to go back to the chapel catacombs. At the back of the catacombs, an evil lamb will appear, as you have freed it from the previous step. Now escort this lamb down towards the hallway that heads to the morgue. At this point, you will have an influx of zombies. Once you've escorted the lamb to where it needs to go, a door will open. Enter this area, and once you do, you'll see a big dragon on the wall. It will be quite big and it's only 1 lane, so just go that way and you will see a pedestal. Pick up the plate from the pedestal, and also behind that pedestal you will see a piece of intel. Pick it up. Now that you have the intel and the plate, head back to where you fought Abraham. Go back to where you interacted with the God Killer and put the plate in. Once you have inserted this plate, the boss fight will begin. In order for this plate to count, you must win the boss fight. It is really important that you beat the boss in order for this plate to be carried across all games. After completing the super Easter egg in every single map, you will be able to obtain the plates permanently. This will allow you to unlock the God Killer and use it as an in-game weapon. This boss fight is a lot harder, and I honestly suggest that if you are going to take on this boss, then you must go in with either the Howler or at least a tier 3 upgraded Thunderbolt. I'd even suggest having all perks. Anyways guys, that has been my tutorial on how to complete the map, the Cursed Lands of Lavernock. If you did enjoy it, then please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you happen to be new. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I was Silver07, you've been absolutely awesome, and I hope this guide helped you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.